All right, thank you. Everybody, thank you for being here tonight. It's Monday, June 2nd, the first meeting of June for the Poolesville Town Commissioners. All the commissioners are in attendance tonight, as well as the town manager, Wade Yost, assistant town manager, Niles Anderegg, our intrepid town engineer, John Strong, in the audience. Other audience members here, including the media. I wanted to say thanks to everybody. Thank you. A big contingent tonight. Thank you. Pan the camera forward so we can't see how few people are in the audience. That's what they do in the USFL or the UFL, I guess. So they do that. No crowd shots. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. We've had some big meetings over the last few weeks and months, and this one sounds like it's going to be one that's not going to be a big deal for tonight. So thanks everybody for showing up anyway. We appreciate it. Want to lead off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Gents, do one of you guys want to do the honors?
I can do it.
All right, Alan.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, very good. Thanks for that, everybody. Commissioner reports. Alan, do you mind starting us off and working around the horn?
Not a problem. We are Parks Board we have a meeting coming up on Wednesday. We will actually have, I think, really our true official one with all of our candidates, or not candidates, but our members and Tim. So I think the biggest thing that what we've been having a little issues, I'm sure a lot of people have seen social media, is, the parking and speeding and stop sign running. So we'll address a lot of that at that time. But again, I want to continue, as I always do, with thanking our staff, with Preston and the crew, considering all the rain we've had, maintaining, the grounds takes a lot, and the parks, with all the water, they're still in unbelievable shape. I've got a chance to walk around through Hunter's Run and Halmos and see what they do. So hats off to them always. And then just as a little thing relative to Stevens Park, we're going to have our senior picnic for PHS seniors on Wednesday. Grill team will be cooking, as always.
What time is this Wednesday?
That is noon.
Okay.
Noon
At Halmos?
No, Stevens Park.
It's Stevens?
Yep.
Right, got it. Ribeyes or just going to be burgers? What's
Just
need to kind
burgers,
of know?
dogs, some, good
Maybe some
cheese,
extras?
pasta salad, yeah.
Okay.
Brisket, I think we got
Got
coming.
it. Up. See, now you're
See,
talking.
slide that in there.
Yeah, noon this Wednesday.
Yes. Yep.
Might have to rearrange my schedule.
Jim is allowed to come as long as he gets that LPT sponsorship paperwork in.
Even you, Alan, calling for that?
I have to agree with him.
Thank you.
The sponsorship.
Double team now. No. So no, but congratulations with all the graduates in the class. It's it's always good to see all the kids that you've seen grow up, little from kids to seniors, and now they're transitioning to good old college. So
That's amazing. Yep.
and that's my report for
On the fields, I did want to tell you, I got a note from Gabe on Saturday. Gabe, our at-large council.
Yep.
Said, I'm watching my son play at Stevens Field. I love this park.
That's nice.
Yep.
Tell them how about coming to watch at the school?
Oh, yeah. You're ringing the bell, huh?
I'm just from now on, whenever somebody says LPT, I'm going to ring the bell.
So that is my report.
Okay, good. Thanks for that, Alan. That's good stuff. Anybody have questions for Alan about what's going on there? Good job. Thank you, Bub.
Yep.
Brian?
Planning Commission meets next Wednesday. Yeah. Whew. Three things that I know of on the agenda. I think we're finally going to talk about the Grace Cottages variance for the entrance. I think they want to go to a single driveway, right?
Three houses will be on one driveway.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys remember, but that was suggested by the Planning Commission chair at the time they came.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But that was against town policy at the time.
Yes.
So we need a variance for that, so we'll finally do that on next Wednesday. We're going to get some renderings from town staff for the Cultural Arts District. So we have some more stuff to look at and ponder, and probably not making any decisions on. And then we have the water allocations conversation. They're going to town staff is providing some information about the well redundancy, just to give us an idea on our water supply.
Okay. With no real action planned, listening?
Listening, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we had an action plan, and I wouldn't be surprised if that action plan was to have no new actions.
Okay, we will
But
let
we'll
you,
see.
let you do your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Brian, for the planning commission? Nope. Ed?
Let's go
Sarah
down.
first?
Okay.
No problem. Sometimes you defer to her on the other ones. so.
Yeah, we, our next fair access meeting is next Thursday. But some things that we've been working on in between. Our video, we're in the final editing stages of the video that we're creating, so that will be ready to send out soon. And then as far as moving the pool bubble along, the rec center asked for some information, some details about numbers and pricing. We sent that over to them. And we also have a virtual meeting set up with the facilities planning group tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. To talk about strategies for us to move up the list for future CIP budget. So we're laying a lot of groundwork when it comes to the pool bubble and the rec center, trying to move those forward. And we also saw, I'll just add by way of announcement, that at the Taste of Riverworks event on Saturday, we had a fantastic showing from our D15 representation. We had, I think, all of our representatives except Linda Foley.
Except for Linda.
Yeah, but everyone else was there. Brian Feldman, David Fraser Hidalgo, Lily Chi. We also had Marilyn Balcom, who was there. We had
Mark Elridge.
Mark Elridge was there, and
long time.
Evan Glass.
Yeah, he outlasted all of us.
Yeah. Anyways, it was a great showing, and the event was lovely. A lot of great performances and artists. So that was really
Cool.
a good event.
Great time.
So I'll pass it on.
Just one more thing with fair access. So tomorrow, as you guys heard, Link and I will go to Northwest High School to the boundary studies. We're going there to listen and speak up if necessary, but definitely at first round go in and really see what's being proposed. In terms of sustainable Poolesville, we had our meeting last Wednesday. The only thing that's new versus what I've been talking about with these initiatives, from Pick It Up Poolesville to the zero waste, we had a great conversation really talking about when people are leaving some would call it junk, some other people might call it something somebody else might want. You know, people,
curb.
the
Leave
curb
it on the
stuff,
curb.
right? And so we were talking, saying, well, if we could help people look at these free sites where, you know, it's like there's buy and sell or get for free, and then that way people who might have something that someone else can use, if they post it on that site instead of just throwing it on the curb and putting a sign on it, because there are some things that are in decent condition, but when it rains, no one's really going to stop and grab it. So we were having these conversations, just looking at what are the things that already exist, and then we talked, that morphed into how can we help educate the community with not just, hey, here's an option of what you can do instead of just leaving these things outside. Also looking at maybe like a quarterly or monthly rotation of initiatives, whether it's the recycling, whether it's the zero waste, and then something that would be catchy, that's not, that doesn't bleed on the eyes, but rotating so you're not getting a message about everything, but just reminders, something from the recycling to some of the different sustainable initiatives. And so one of the things we also talked about is that we do want to get a student to come out, and so we have our contact over at Poolesville High School. So this is looking at something a little further down the road, but if we get a group of kids who might want to help put something together, and then that would come through town staff to look at and see if it's okay, and then look at how to get that information out. So that's what we were talking about for the most part.
Cool. That's it for you? Questions for Ed, you guys? Nope.
Oh, I was just going to say, is there any progress on the composting?
It's still just it's still a lot of discussion because there's so many different twists and turns, right, with how to do that. So.
Amen on that. Okay, thanks for that, guys. Just some notes, regular presidential notes, encompassing a little bit of everything that you guys are working on. So we did have a conversation just to check in with White's Ferry, with DOT, Chris Conklin. Conversation back and forth. Chris, as usual, had very, very little details, but he did provide some. I'll read them off to you. After we queried him, he said, "Good morning. We've had 2 working meetings with the parties and have a third is being scheduled. The second meeting was more solutions oriented than the first." Chris.
Okay.
We'll take whatever that means. That's
Very transparent.
that's something else. So anyway, so that was good, and we just, of course, we said thanks for the update and good, and thanks for the efforts by everybody that's involved. So, still, it's the number one question. I think wherever I go is like, what's going to happen with White's Ferry? Link and I were at a senator state update today, this morning, 8 a.m. and bad coffee. I don't know if you had any or not. It was bad coffee. Bad coffee, and we had they gave a good review of what they did at the State House in Annapolis during the time frame. Of course, it was Brian always made a good job to let us know how much money they brought back to our part of the county, which was a pretty good haul this year for all of us. Love to see the way they're fighting it. They're right, and I think they hit it 10 years ago, 20 years ago. We were nothing on their radar screen, or we tried to be, and it was difficult. But and we did get money from them, obviously, to build this building and some other projects. But they really are in tune with our district right now, and it's all due to the work of everybody in this room, for working hard to maintain those relationships and the good work of Riverworks and the amount of money that Dave and Sandy have put into their projects. So they're appreciative of us. They've made it known several times that we always serve it up to them on a platter, and it just makes it easy for them to do it. We don't have an adversarial relationship. They love having a good relationship with us. David Fraser Odago mentioned that at Riverworks too, and how important the partnership was, or wherever else we were.
The Wumco ribbon cutting. I
Yeah.
forgot to say that.
That's okay.
That's where they made some.
Yes, and the Wumco ribbon cutting was great last week for the mobile medicine van. Unbelievable. I did get clearance to take it to a tailgate. That came straight from Governor Moore.
Yep.
So I'll let everybody know when we're doing that.
It's the Ravens game though, right?
Raven, oh yeah, definitely not. The persona non grata on the other side. So that's that was great. Then thank you everybody that was part of that, Brian, Sarah. We really did have a chance to shine on that. Thanks to all the parties that put together all the effort to get it done. And again, there's days like that that just makes me want to say again and again, I'm so appreciative of our delegation. I stand behind our delegation for everything they do. And they have worked very hard on our behalf. And I know they've come under some scrutiny, as have members of our community, for the what's happened with solar. But at the same time, I absolutely trust their judgment, and the work they do has been really, really strong for our area. So I stand behind our delegation big time. American Legion, along with Jerry and others, that for Memorial Day was an amazing event. And I believe it was Randy that wrote the article, right? Was it Randy that wrote the article on Memorial Day and the presentation about Kirk Bosselman, who was my former neighbor, and the way he died in action? And it was just a very memorable Memorial Day. So good, very heartfelt. And what was published in the newspaper, if you guys haven't read the article yet, read that article. It's really good. So, and that's it. From my side, yes, we're going to have our meeting tomorrow at 4 with Greg Assant, and Link, you probably know more than we know, but what are we going to be meeting about? Sorry to catch you off guard. What are we meeting about tomorrow? I know we have all this stuff on the table. Is it just going to be a conversation about?
Remember when we had the budget meeting in Black Rock? And
Yes. Yeah.
We actually had our signs, and at one point, Rich said, well, he actually said there's a process. He didn't say it's just like, maybe you can do it if you push hard, or he said there's a process, and sometimes you can get your project moved up. I mentioned it to Greg, and he said, yeah, I'll talk it through with you guys, and we'll see where it goes. So he's gonna try to tell us how that works, and I don't know what that means, but I assume it means we'll have to do some legwork and figure out how to get those levers moved. So that's the intent of the meeting, is to see if we can get it done.
Fair enough. Okay.
And you're going to be talking both about the rec center and the pool bubble, or is
No,
this one
yeah,
just the pool bubble?
He's not really involved in the rec center at this point. He helped us get that started. I mean,
Okay.
not the rec center, the pool. He's the rec center guy.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. We're looking forward to it.
Jim, you want to mention the Thursday the 5th with the PAC multi?
Yeah, thank you. And I'm not sure who's attending, but yes, the pool, it's, how many is it now? Is it 8 chambers?
9.
9 chambers that are all meeting at Crossvines this Thursday night for a big multi-chamber gathering. And I actually was talking to, the lady I sat next to today was the person who's the coordinator for all of the chambers. And they said that they believe that this might be the last year they do it at Crossvines because they're packed and they have 3 more chambers that want to join the event. So it's probably one of the
So
all,
it's too small.
too small, if you can believe it.
I can't believe it.
It was packed
Too
last
small.
year when I went.
Yeah, so she said that's why it's, in effect, it's sold out, that they have reached capacity for the room and that they're potentially going to be looking at other places, which is sad because I love having it here at Crossvines. And I do believe, and she's very organized. I said, are you sure it's just not because everybody wants to come see Crossvines and have a good, good drink, good meal there? She's like, it is that, but with 3 more chambers potentially joining the mix, we had to tell them no, so that with that joining, that's going to change the dynamic a little bit of that event. But it's a good event, and I don't know if any of us will get a chance to say anything about being in Poolesville or not, but we'll try. So we'll see what happens. And that's Thursday night, 5 o'clock, right? Thank you for that. Good.
I know Lori Ann's coming. I don't think any other council members, maybe Marilyn, but that's all I know. I
Yeah.
know Lori Ann is because she didn't have a ticket, and I told her to buy her one, so.
Right.
So I got-
Were you able to buy one too?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay. So, and then several of us are meeting with Lori Ann on Thursday morning? Yeah, 10 o'clock. Anybody wants to join us, we're going to be locals, 10 o'clock.
Graduation, I'll be at.
I'll be a graduation.
graduation.
Oh, come on, you
It's
guys.
also at 10
Seriously, it's a
o'clock.
council member.
At 10 o'clock, right?
But I'll be joining
But if
you.
you want to move
Yeah.
the meeting over there,
Yes.
tell her come support Poolesville graduation.
All right, hang on, let me take care of that. Need to meet Strathmore,
Yeah.
outside Strathmore. What's that?
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's, yeah.
So 9:30.
Mount St. Mary's? Okay, yeah, 9:30, right.
Yeah.
Now, we'll carry the flag for you guys. Enjoy your graduation. That's awesome. Okay, that's all I have, unless people have more stuff that I didn't do. No? Okay, good. Thank you for that. All right, public comment. Jerry, are you, you're the only one that signed up. Do you want to come up now, or are you going to talk on topic? Okay. Yep.
Should be quick. For once. Nah, I don't.
We'll see.
But anyways,
The binder flops open, all the paper get out.
Jerry Klobakowski, 17300 Fletchall Road, Poolesville, Maryland. I'd like to piggyback on what Ed said about people putting stuff out in the curb. I remember I used to pick it up and take it up to St. Mary's. Now, St. Mary's is planning on having their usual, I think it's the 150th chicken barbecue dinner on the 26th of July from noon till, I think, 5 or 7. But they always have a white elephant sale, or, whatever you want to call it, a rummage sale like St. Peter's does. And St. Peter's has one twice a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And so, I would advise people to see if they got stuff they don't want, to maybe, give it to St. Peter's or take it up to St. Mary's. And then there's also the Restore stores. There's one in Rockville on Goody Drive, and there's one in Frederick on E Street. And they will accept stuff. Now, they will not always come and pick it up, so that might be a problem for some. But anyways, okay, that was number 3. Number 2, going backwards, I looked at the presentation concerning the sewer report, and I saw that I think view graph number 7 had this manhole right next to a tree, which has caused a lot of the roots getting into the manhole, etc. And I was wondering how many other places we may have a situation like that. And I don't know if that situation should ever happen to begin with, because, trees grow, and, we should be proactive and take any trees that could possibly, their root system would invade manholes or sewer system. And then the last thing is, I wouldn't really be here tonight, except there's this thing called Poolesville Cats request for $2,500. So, I mean, again, they're coming to the town. They say they're a 501(c), but yet they're coming to the town. The town is not a end-all and be-all for people who don't have money or want money. If they're a 501(c), that means people can donate it. Now, it may no longer be tax deductible, but individuals should be able to donate it. And I total up, where did I do with it? Oh, there it is, right there. I mean, I look at this past year, Poolesville Pride, 2,500, Hope Ballet, 2,500, mini grants, 5,000, HMD, 30,000, Riverworks, 60,000, totals up to $100,000 that the town is giving away. Understand about, HMD, and understand that you want this cultural art districts. However, now, $100,000 and you raise taxes. So, I mean, really? You can give the money away, but you need to raise taxes in order to do it. Because you still have all these other requirements. You want to give raises to everybody, and you have all this other stuff, equipment to replace. So, I mean, I really think that the town should not be the first or the last resort for people like this. Because if we got the Poolesville Cats, are we going to have the Poolesville Coyotes, the Poolesville Foxes, the Poolesville Rabbits?
Hold on, slow down, I'm writing this down.
Right. You get the general
had no
idea.
idea
I mean,
there were so many.
Yeah.
how many different, every time somebody comes, I'm sorry, I just can't understand. And I accept these are probably worthy organizations, but, I'm sorry, this is going a little too far, and it almost goes from the sublime to the ridiculous. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Well,
Good evening.
I have to thank you for that. I have to agree with Jerry. I don't know how we do this, but I am just so against putting stuff on a curb and putting it out there. Because I'm out and around all the time, and I just see the stuff go to crap real quick.
And some of that stuff is really nice stuff, too. It's not, I've seen
I
some
can't-
nice
I-
tables and chairs and stuff, so, it's not like
It's like all junk to me. And also, too, the green, I use Green Drop, and Green Drop will come pick up almost anything directly from your house.
Okay.
And they're phenomenal. You schedule them online. There's a very small list of stuff they don't take. And then
Maybe
the rest
Monox
what
and
they pick
Monica
up.
reporter could,
exercising journalistic
yeah,
control.
go in there and
Yeah.
report about, or put a little, what do they call it, public information?
I'd like to have a
in there
shame
about
page where you
where
just take a
you can
picture of the
get,
junk.
Phone numbers, addresses, and where you can get,
Why not? I'm the one getting shamed all the time. I want to shame somebody else.
At least you can be a moderator.
Little Poolesville shame
But
just had
anyways.
my page. But seriously, I don't know what we do about that. What do we do about that? That's just
You could legislate it if you wanted to.
This is a universal problem in America where we
Yeah.
consume so much, we don't know what to do with our
I totally
waste.
agree. I totally agree.
Set the example, and we could try to figure it out.
Right, we're trying to figure it out.
But I like Jerry's suggestions too, and I think you start off.
I will admit one thing, pardon me for interrupting, that I know a gentleman who, he was married, his wife passed away. He could not get the Restore store, and some of them come up. He said he took a hatchet to his dining room set and threw it in threw it in trash cans and to me, that's really ridiculous, especially when people could use it.
Yeah.
And we did have, it was fantastic organization, Hands of Love. And it was Dr. Todd and Dale Nestor and Link's father. And they'd come in, they'd pick up stuff. So, but there's no place to store it anymore. So anyways,
There's actually a really good organization in Silver Spring that we work with in Wamco called a Wider Circle.
Oh, yeah.
They actually do pick up furniture from your house. It takes a little while to organize it because they have volunteer drivers. But they will pick up almost anything that's usable, furniture, end tables, things like that.
So we'll have a conversation with staff, everybody, and talk about a way that we can advertise for these places to do
Have a
stuff.
resource page for
It's not a bad idea.
residents
Yeah.
on the website.
And advertise
on our
it.
town website. That's like, hey, are you trying to figure out how to take care of your
Right.
waste
Don't put your crap on the curb.
or your reusable items?
I'm sensitive to it, being in the biz. I just feel like there's just so much stuff that people, and it's to see it on the curb is just,
Sad.
it's sad, and it takes one rainstorm for whatever somebody put out there, it's ruined, and then I can't resell it at that point.
The rummage sale, for the St. Peter's rummage sale, just a, another option gone for furniture. They don't take furniture anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have the bodies to move it, and they don't have the space to keep it. They do 2 rummage sales a year, and they run out of space to store the stuff before the rummage sale.
Okay.
I totally
I don't know
believe
They
it.
don't have people
if
that
the
can-
big flea could handle something like that, where it's a big flea rummage, but you have to take away, or we have green drops scheduled to come at the end to pick up anything that isn't
You know,
sold, something like that.
the other thing to look at too, and what I'll do, I'll bring it back to Sustainable Poolesville to kind of kick around some more ideas and thoughts. But I like Jerry's idea of looking at some of these organizations who might take it, and even if we cast a larger net outside of the area, first start here if they have people who be willing to pick up and store. If not, that big sale they have once a year over there on 28. I'm trying to forget what they call it, but I know my wife and a lot of the ladies from Poolesville, they all go up there and they got furniture. I bought a desk from there about 4 years ago. But they have the huge tent is one of the churches is right near Quince Orchard. You go up.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know what I'm talking about? Right now they got a huge big tent up there, but it starts early in the morning, and there's a large group of people from Poolesville who go up there and they buy all kinds of stuff because I had to help move some of that
And
stuff.
it ends up on the curb.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, then it comes back to
some of it
the,
ends up in the
I
house.
saw it at the end of your driveway last
Yeah.
week.
It
I
wasn't.
mean, I do
had-
think
got
it's
a
great
desk from
if
there,
we
but-
can start with things like local Facebook or whatever. I mean, again, it is great to like help people within your community.
But to
first,
keep
but-
like a beautification, keep beautiful.
I think we flat out put a link, Niles and Wade can put this together, of suggested place where things could go. And then I will post on Facebook everywhere several times, do not put it on the curb, period.
And
Just don't.
there are people who are putting on the curve because they've scheduled the bulk pickup as well, which is something
And
they
that's
can
another
do
option they can have.
through.
But even at the
Okay.
townhouses, you can put it on your porch or next to your porch, and they will get it. The minute it goes to the curb, and I've been the one that's picked up all the crap, because I got a truck and I got a dumpster.
Yeah.
Turn this thing off. I've got a truck and a dumpster, and I just can't bear to see the crap sitting there. So even if you have a townhouse, you can put it by your porch, and those organizations will come get it from that spot. But the minute it goes out to the curb, all of a sudden, it's not your responsibility. And that's just, I just can't take that. I mean,
It'd also be nice if the beauty spots took a lot of the stuff that, some of the things that are out at the curb are unusable because they Titus might not pick it up or anybody else, And, I've had donation trucks that were supposed to be scheduled and they don't show up. Then it's out there, you're gonna pull it back in or take it off your porch or whatever, but,
Yeah.
there is no perfect solution, but we definitely have to have brainstorming.
I think the end solution still is like, we shouldn't do it.
Right.
We should not, there's no reason for things to be on a curb. It's either by your porch for pickup, or even if you put it on the town Facebook buy and sell or free page, that it stays next to your house versus on one of the curbs at the corner of a neighborhood. And, I'm thinking townhouse, but I'm thinking all over.
We should also compile a list of donations and companies,
So I said, well,
on that post, once you do it, be like, restore.
I'm just going to post the link, and then they can
Art.
go to the town webpage and see it, and then go from there.
Yep.
Right, it's good. We'll compile something. I'll do that. I already have it. It's how you get people to move out of their house so you can sell it.
Sounds good.
So, all right, I think unless you guys have beat this one up enough, I beat it up enough.
I think it's
Got-
good. We did it.
All right, good. Right, Jerry, thank you for inspiring that conversation.
Hey, Jerry.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I can, we talk long enough that I forgot the other stuff you said, so that's
Oh,
good.
my God.
Yeah.
Come
gonna
back
be in
next,
the
next
minutes.
meeting, Jerry.
Next meeting, you could talk about the things that we've already moved on from, because this took it over. So appreciate the conversation, Jerry. Good stuff. Approval of the minutes, May May 19th. I got to put my glasses on. May 19th, 2025. Thank you for the delay. That was a great meeting, you guys. You guys have a chance to review the minutes and the presentation. Any questions on it?
No.
Got the most views of any on YouTube of any meeting we've had in recent times. So at least people are somewhat looking at it. So, okay, I need somebody to make a motion.
A motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Ed, second by, I'm deaf on this side, so. Motion by Ed, second by Sarah for approval of the minutes for May 19th, 2025. Any questions, changes, abridgments? No? All in favor of approving those minutes, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None? We have nothing under old business unless somebody's going to add something to the agenda last minute.
No.
Very good. New business. Poolesville Cats grant request. They are not here tonight to do the presentation. Am I correct?
Correct, yes.
Nobody's online?
Let them know they had to be here, so.
Okay.
No.
So that is, that's tabled till the future,
Okay.
period. And we will not add it to the agenda again unless we hear something otherwise. All right, thank you for that, town staff. Appreciate that. Sewer report, Mr. John.
John Strong, Clark Azar Associates, town engineer. As you know, the town has been working on, do you have that as a PowerPoint or not? Didn't come.
I just pulled what was from the website. I can pull it if you want, but I figured I can just,
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
As you know, the town has in the past had a infiltration problem and continues to deal with various infiltration issues. And this is a brief presentation dealing with 3 separate locations that we found recently. Next slide.
Is Jerry's manhole in question?
It is in there.
Okay, there you go.
Talk about that.
He did mention it from your report.
Yep. And as you can see, I actually brought one of these, if it works. Yep, there.
Yep.
Okay. There are several different causes of infiltration and inflow. While we don't have an inflow problem, that's usually a storm drain attached to a sewer line. Washington, D.C., places that are extremely old, that's the way they took care of it. Solution to pollution was dilution. And we're no longer doing that by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, we're trying to eliminate it. But the town does have infiltration issues, and these are caused by root intrusions, materials that the pipes were developed out of in the 80s and into the 90s. And then also tree roots are a big thing. And then interconnections from the house to the lateral that goes to the main. So there's several different causes. None in particular is a issue. The town in the past has lined most of the gravity lines. There's probably still some that are out there that we don't know about due to the materials that they're made out of. And we're going to talk about one of those tonight.
John, for the public, which one of those is the gravity line?
Gravity line. Okay, so I don't know if they can see this or not. But
One coming from the house to
the house there, and then this here is a gravity line too. I just blinded myself. Anyway, there's a gravity line right there and also right here. So the town typically is a gravity system. There are some places that are a pumped situation. In those pumped situations, those are pressure lines and they don't have infiltration problems generally. Okay.
Even the lines, even if are they older, or do we just, are almost all of our older sections of town gravity?
Most of the older sections of town are gravity.
A pressure sewer is likely to have exfiltration rather than infiltration. because
That's
it's
right.
Greater on the interior.
All right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, next slide. And this is the network of the sewer systems, as you can see. And we're going to talk about various portions of it tonight. And if you can barely see it right there, that's Elgin Pump Station right there. And then we're dealing with a sewer line right here. And then let me get my orientation here. You see that turn right there, that 90-degree bend? that manhole right there. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, next slide. The system's broken up into various segments. The purple line the blue line, what you see there, that's a gravity line that goes directly to the pump station, as well as the green line, the brown lines. The red lines in this area, right here, in this area, goes to the pump station down by the middle school.
So we break them apart like this because each one of them has a metering device on the end of each one of these different study areas. So we're able to break it down, see which one is contributing the most I&I. Then we can break those down into smaller segments and trace it back and find the cause. In theory.
Right. Okay, next slide. All right, so we got called out to go look at what we call something totally separate, which is an NRI FSD. And during the process, that's where Jerry mentioned it. We found a manhole with a large tree against it, and you'll see the slide of it coming up. But in discussions with staff, it was determined that while we're doing that examination of that manhole, why don't we go ahead and take a look at a couple of areas that we know we've never videoed and weren't really all that concerned about. It's a short segment of pipe, not that great, but we have the equipment on site, so let's go ahead and check that. The manhole that we were concerned about, that 90-degree bend manhole, we knew that the pipe was probably a PVC pipe, and we were correct about that, which didn't have any root intrusion into it, which was great news. So go ahead and go to the next slide.
Can I just ask what percentage of our piping has been excavated, explored?
Has been videoed and lined, and there's no excavation. We basically think about it. You know how you roll up a sock, and then you stretch it out. That's the way the lining system works. Is we're able to put something down into there. Remember me talking about that one segment of pipe that we hadn't looked at before? Well, during that process, we looked at it, and what was there before was the initial report that came out, which then we went back and looked at the videotape. That is a concrete pipe with a 2-inch hole in it. That pipe's failed. So we're going to have to line that at some point and take care of that problem that
Location
exists.
again? Where's the location?
It's just across from Loon
Okay.
on Fisher Avenue,
Oh, great.
and it runs down towards Wooten Avenue.
Yeah, just to jump in, kind of like piggyback on what you were asking the question of. So about 90% of our system, probably more than that now, we've been able to televise it, do manhole inspections, and typically a tree is not found next to the manhole. This was a manhole that was kind of off-grid that we've just not visited for a long time. That I think is probably the only one that would be that way.
Yeah,
The other one
Yeah.
was buried by State Highway about 25 years ago that we found.
yeah, we found another manhole.
It's
Yeah,
pretty rare that does happen.
yeah.
But we have lined a considerable amount of our mains, and we actually dug up and put clean outs on all of Westerly and Westmont so we could separate the connection between the cast iron and the terracotta piping, which is what, it's a terrible sewer pipe, basically, because it's
Yep.
very porous. So quite a bit has been done as far as that goes.
So when
Right.
you come across something like this, it's a concrete pipe with the 2-inch hole. You don't have to remove the whole thing.
No, we don't remove the.
Line it.
We're able to line it, do it. It's trying to think of a good analogy. It's like a
fiberglass
felt.
Boat stuff, it's like they
Yeah.
use felt for boats to repair them in fiberglass, and they roll it through there, and when they impregnate it with the resin, it's about this thick and makes like a PVC pipe inside the pipe itself.
Yeah. So we're able to create a nice smooth piping system, which is grand. So during this process, we found that 2-inch hole in that one, and if you'll scroll on down, or how are you going to do it?
Nope.
Back. All right.
There we go.
There you go. As you can see also, there's root intrusion at the joints here. I keep on blinding myself. And that creates infiltration that can come through there. Remember that picture that we talked about in the original portion? It showed root intrusion. This is typical root intrusion in there. The cutter's already gone down through there and removed a lot of it. This, it's kind of, I get to sit there and watch tape
Is
of,
that a movie there? Is that a segment of a film there?
yeah, that's a segment of the film right there.
You
Yeah.
push play or not?
No, you can't push
Yeah,
play.
okay.
Yeah.
What's the diameter of that pipe?
Diameter of that pipe is an 8-inch pipe. Yeah. Okay. We note that where these are, and you also, in this particular run, you were able to see where the gaskets had fallen out of the pipe and was hanging in there. Okay,
You
next.
guys just trim the gasket then too?
Yeah, they'll come back through and cut out the gasket and everything else and before they line. Yeah. Okay, next. All right. So
That's amazing.
we happen to be doing an NRI FSD on that piece of property, which is natural resource inventory. And I came around a corner and I was like, there's supposed to be a manhole here somewhere. And yeah, there was. Tree hadn't quite grown over top of it.
Where's that location
How old
again?
is that tree?
Quinto property.
Tree.
Oh, the Quinto property.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
One that hasn't been touched for a long time.
Yeah, it hadn't been touched. The good news and one of the reasons we hadn't come down there and looked was because we were more concerned about the piping that was in there. And we knew that pipe was PVC. And the chances of root intrusion into PVC pipe, because of the way the joints are constructed is a pressed joint, we don't see it at a great chance of it. We hadn't had any real complaints in that area.
Versus terracotta or,
Terracotta, transite, which is an asbestos pipe, and that's why we don't dig it up. An asbestos pipe.
but you line it?
We line it, yep. And then concrete pipe, and sometimes ductile iron pipe. It depended on what was available at the time when they were doing construction, and they decided to do.
Yeah, it was 50-plus years of doing it.
Yeah. So, anyway, I got with the staff and got Ricky out there with his crew to pull the manhole and go ahead and next slide.
Before we move on, can I just ask, why would you plant a tree right there? Or
It's naturally occurring, just
Yeah, that was
naturally
Like a
occurring.
creek and a little
Yeah.
area.
And that's just a huge junk tree, right? I mean, that's not, you're not looking at that and saying, oh, that's a nice pin oak. That's like a,
It was just a tree that had to come out. There's
yeah,
no doubt
just a
about
junk
that.
tree that just found its way.
It's
that-
it's gone.
longer there.
It's
Oh, it's-
it's gone.
It's cut out.
It's gone. Yeah, thank goodness. But you can see some of the root intrusion. I'll try not to blind myself. Right here. There's also you kind of see that dark area right there. That is a major feeder root, and probably kind of juiced up that tree, and it helped it grow very rapidly.
Feeding off of.
That's, that,
Nice.
nutrients in there, right?
Yeah, it's kind of got the super juice.
that looks like the shower drain I was talking about earlier. Turn my mic off.
All right, your next slide.
The rest of the meeting, yeah. I
All right.
probably need to.
So now we're at Elgin
I'm staying at your house.
Pump Station, and one of the problems that we have at Elgin Pump
Sean
Station
to move over.
is that at some point, I guess back in the 90s, the pump station was disassembled and then reassembled in a different spot. Is the best way to explain it.
In the 80s?
90s, early 90s, from what I can tell. I wasn't here, and
Oh, the old I wasn't here.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who was here? Who was here? Yeah.
All right, so Ricky had been mentioned that we were seeing flow come into that manhole because the pumps just continuously ran and cycled a lot more. So we had a problem in the pump station per se. It was this manhole here was this one right there was converted to a manhole to a pump station. This is the old pump station right here. Okay.
Is that, I'm sorry, where is that specifically located? I'm sure I should know this.
Road.
Right in front of Mr. Hamels's house, actually across the street from,
By the Bodmer's house?
Across the street from Bodmer's house.
Well, that's the house I have listed. Where is it there?
it's underground.
It's underground.
Was it like a mausoleum type chamber in there that's
It's
got,
just a chamber in there.
you go through a manhole to get to it?
No, well, yeah, this
Great.
is a square, you'll see an aluminum square thing that you pull up.
Okay,
and you
yeah,
go down
I'll
there.
look for it next
The
time.
pumps are there.
Sorry, I mean, we
And there's
talked
also-
about this many times, but I had no idea where it
Yeah.
was. I thought it was.
There's some bushes on the side, and that's where the control panel is.
Okay,
Okay.
cool, thank you.
So, as you can see, this is what they abandoned right here. You can barely faintly see there's a pipe that runs over there as I blind myself again. Okay? And what we're seeing is down in this area here, a flow. We don't know why it's flowing. All we know is there is a flow there. And we can't pump it down far enough with the pumps that are in there. Because the pumps are set a little bit higher. We can't get down to where it is. I don't know at this point if the base is cracked, if that pipe, we don't have good information of how they abandoned that pipe right there. So I'm not 100% sure how they did what. So what we need to do is to do what they call bypass pumping. In other words, we go to that manhole and we pump it out, and we pump it all the way down to where the discharge point would be, but we're bringing it up out of the manhole and across the road.
It should be on Fisher Avenue.
Fisher Avenue.
Barber shop. So
Yeah.
they have it
Yeah.
hosed across the top of the ground for a while.
So, but until we,
Close down the road.
no, we won't have
Probably do
to.
without doing that, but just have a lane blocked off.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have to do that, we may even be able to run it on top of the sidewalk. But we won't know that.
It's like a fire hose, right?
A bit more than a fire hose. It's actually a series of metal pipes that get stacked up. So, that's what needs to happen, what we see needs to happen. The manhole has to be rehabbed, the one where the tree was. Then there was the concrete gravity line, that needs to be lined. And then this portion, we need to go ahead and do the bypass pumping so we can figure out how to fix this problem. We don't know what the problem is.
And we don't know how that old section was abandoned. We don't know. We just know it is abandoned, the section.
Yeah. What we know is that according to the plan, they abandoned that manhole and rerouted. They abandoned a pump station and rerouted the sewer line that exists there back up to a manhole that's further north, and then it feeds back into the new.
And have we not been able to pump that down enough to get a TV in there to see what that looks like?
No, we can't.
Okay.
That's one of the things that's why I'm coming at you.
Right, understood.
Okay. All right. Next
Cool.
slide.
Good.
So what we're looking at is for the Elgin pump station investigation, just the investigation, you're probably looking at $20,000. The main line lining along Fisher Avenue, you're looking at $60,000, and that manhole repair, we're estimating $40,000. Hopefully that would be less but until we get in there and start chopping roots and seeing what conditions are in, we don't know what it is. That comes to a cost opinion of $120,000 to do those repairs.
That number might be off on the.
Yeah, on your cost opinion, that's all right.
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Right.
19,980.
Let's go with the cost opinion on the left. All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
sounds good.
Discount for doing them all at once, is that what that is?
yeah.
Right.
So funding is in place already that we've accumulated in the I&I account that we have in the capital projects funding stream. So there's over $120,000 in that account right now. So funding is available. It's already place marked, earmarked for it.
For these types of things.
Yep.
Interesting, John. So do we need to take official action as a board? The money's already in the budget, correct?
Yep.
Anybody have a problem or a question with what John's up to on this thing?
Needs to happen.
I guess
Yeah.
my question is always like, it sounds like this is the most recent, I guess, audit of what the priorities are.
So it's continuous.
It never stops.
It never-
Right, like I'm sure as, it's either as things come up or as you systematically move through to like map and maintain.
Yes, and it's a challenge in itself because you have to wait for a rain event before you can really do some investigative work and trace down where a leak may be. So we had a couple of years of, we did some TVing, we had monitors out there, couldn't collect any data. So now we're collecting data.
I was gonna say, we've had some good rain events
It's-
last month.
The only thing, timeframe.
Timeframe, I would think if we put it out on the street to get these things done, the we could probably do that within 6 to 8 weeks. The main line lining, we may want to, we want to get in there and do that. That's a very small project, so we kind of have to fit it in between somebody else being available. The same thing with the manhole, because it's a single manhole. If it was 10, 15 manholes, where the project would be extended, then yeah, we would be doing it a lot more. And we did have a batch of those, I want to say about 8 years ago, where we did a lot of manhole work.
Over in Spades Hill, and I thought, hey, Spades Hill's a newer neighborhood. All the gaskets started going bad in the manholes, so. Always,
It's infrastructure, works 24/7.
Yep,
I mean,
never stops.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Is this kind of seasonal?
The work?
This type of maintenance, is this seasonal?
No, they can do it in the wintertime, they can do it whenever. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's extremely, extremely cold, or the flows are way, way high, because we have to, for the main line lining, we have to segment the line. And if the flows are really high because of infiltration, then we can't block it, because the guy who's upstream is gonna get everything that he doesn't want in his house.
Right, okay.
really want to get this in front of you guys, just so some of the newer commissioners, and make sure you guys understand infrastructure and how, if when I'm not here or John's not here, because he's going to retire here shortly, and who knows what, but we always want staff to be pushing infrastructure for you guys
100%.
and understand that. It's great having sidewalks and streetscape and stuff you can see, but what's underground is much more important.
Like I said, it doesn't turn off.
No.
It's steady on all the time.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Great. Thanks, John. Is that the end of the presentation?
That's all there is.
Okay. Anything else from staff on it? I have a question too. How far along are we on the doing the study for merging our water lines together so they can be treated more efficiently?
Well, we came up with a plan to do that, to go ahead and do that. The PFAS buildings, I know the town has gone ahead and gotten money or a grant, and we've submitted that to the state of Maryland for two of the buildings that now have the PFAS treatment in place, and which will make, one of the nice things that'll come of that will make well 2 a 24/7 functional well house. Right now, you're limited to the summer. That's
Yep, and the water line project is also up at the state level, looking at they're looking at the specifications of the contract documents to make sure they adhere to all the guidelines the state has.
right.
And then in October, we should hear about the funding for the PFAS.
Okay.
Joining above the,
So I take it we're attempting to have all that being paid for by the state, federal government,
it's a combination of, yeah.
right? And then and because they're willing, at this point it looks like they're willing to go along with how we're going to merge these lines and the cost for merging these lines in order to have them be treated efficiently.
October, we'll find out.
Okay, very good.
They don't really, you put all your applications in, they put them in a pile and they go through them, and then they kind of release the information all at once. So October, we're expecting that.
Okay, that's fine. Good deal. In time. All right, John. Any question for John? You guys?
Oh, thank you.
And the presentation. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. John, thanks for the work, town staff on it.
No problem.
Good job,
Thank you,
guys.
John.
Thank you, thank you.
Good stuff. Town managers report.
Okay, just a couple of things. So we had our fishing tournament this weekend, and a great turnout. There was like 42 participants, and there was parents, grandparents, and it was a full house. Justin was in all his glory. The grand prize winner was Carson Kramek, and he caught his first bass, and it was a beauty. So
Nice.
that's kind of
Yeah, I
a real
saw a
cool thing.
picture. That was great.
There was a lot of kids, and it was good from all the way from 6 to 16. So good stuff. Finally, was able to get a hold of State Highway about the streetscape project, and they've chosen their list of contractors. And so I filled out a bunch of forms last week to submit to them, and so they're going to pair us up with one. It'll take about a month, hopefully, and then we can go to work again. So it's moving.
Yeah, good.
The annual water quality report's been finished up. It's being printed right now, so that's going to be mailed out by the 1st of July. So everybody's going to get one. No surprises in there. They talk about PFAS a little bit. There's a lot of required language you'll see in there for the lead and nitrates and different stuff like that. But we didn't have any violations, so we're in compliance all the way around. And we also had our first meeting today with our accountant, preparing for the end of the year audit. So we're starting to do our closeout, starting to bring the books together, and this is the first of many meetings we're going to have, and as we start crunching numbers the next couple months.
Same accountant, same auditor.
Yes.
Thank you. Good. Anything else? Question for town staff?
I just appreciate your day-to-day operations. I mean, keeping our town above and, reproach and
We all have
running
staff
well
that
and-
works out in the field for us.
John doing double duty these days on up and down Fisher Avenue, right? We're gonna get you a skateboard.
Could be 3 soon.
Okay, good. All right, yeah, little scooter, right? Electric, of course.
yes.
Like a little red three-wheeler.
Right. I will have a picture of that if that happens. Thank you for that. Anything else, guys?
Good.
All right, sure. Nobody? Motion?
Motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion we adjourn. Second from Sarah, second from Brian. Before we adjourn, I just would like to wish everybody a happy Pride Month too. And I should have said something at the beginning, so I apologize for that. Motion made. Second. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nope. That's it. We are adjourned. What time? 8:05. Damn it. Missed by 5.